Hey everyone, let's do an earnings preview for this week as well. First, a recap of last week with the selected name. So this is CRI. It popped from earnings. Actually, no, it went down and recovered. Still kind of looking like a good setup. Since it hasn't broken down, it still looks like an ascending pattern, meaning it's trying to break out and building a base here for the next leg up. So still okay, nothing really spectacular. If you want to try it out. This one had a breakout and nothing afterwards. Car didn't work out, went down. Nui broke out and looking like it's a build up. It's going to do the horizontal breakout. Sophie gave it back, popped but gave it back. Nothing really to add here. Nothing to add. UNH tried to pop but didn't. Now question is if it holds here. It's still kind of an undecided spot. It can bounce, it can go lower. It's a big level to hold or not hold in this spot. So if it goes here, expect that we will continue down and we'll go under 300, at least a 300 retest if we cannot hold here. If it bounces, it's still constructive but doesn't not deterministic, not definitive to what it's going to do next. It can still continue just going sideways here. UPS popped huge because it cut a lot of employees. 48,000 jobs cut from UPS, and the market loved it. I think this is okay. This is constructive. I think it's okay to go long, like on a ribbon retest. Hasn't really something like this. Maybe even a full trendline backtest because I don't think it will continue going higher. But this could happen quite easily. And there's a lot of room to go up here. So either a ribbon retest, like when it does this, somewhere in this range here, or the full trendline backtest, that would be the entry. I think with the reaction here, this thing has bottomed, but it can give a better entry. Maybe even waiting for a market pullback for later on is a good idea. Like not entering here, maybe it defines a range like this, and it just swings in this area for a while, does like a prolonged trend line hug moving forward like this, and eventually does a big move. Enphase dumped, no surprise once again, unfortunately, but low retest, don't know if it holds or not. STX moved up but got rejected afterwards. The earnings move was plus 20%. Again, don't know what to do with this one. Nextra tried to go up but failed and went down instead. Mm, let's see if it does the cup. So target would be this area here, like just below 80 for an entry if we get the full cup and handle treatment. And that breakout to 105. This one popped but gave it away. Maybe maybe 37 is a long, but don't like the way it looks. Stay away. Boeing dumped and we are at 200 once again. What did it do anyways? -7 EPS, what the fuck? No, just no. Okay, Meta dumped, so one of the generals fell. Microsoft also got rejected, so not really showing strength. I was thinking before the candle on Friday that maybe it bounces here, does this, but don't doesn't seem to be doing that. Google gapped up and gave a bit away, but still bullish. CMG mega dump, stay away. Carvana. Carvana dumped as expected from the flow. I don't have a read here. Like it should continue lower. Nothing interesting, nothing interesting, nothing interesting. LLY is pretty interesting. Like it went up. I think it continues. It looks very much like a beginning of a move, not the end of a move. Roblox dumped. Still a bit to go. I think potential buy is like a 100 area, but we have a horizontal level here. I don't know, idiots love this stock. I don't know. I don't understand the love of Roblox. It's a shit game, shit company. And finally, Crocs. Tried to go up, went down, but tried to go down and recovered a bit. Still constructive, but needs more time. So it's trying to go above the ribbon, probably do something like this for a while, eventually break out. But I don't think it's ready quite yet. It needs like maybe another month or two before it's ready. Amazon popped as expected from the flow. Very nice move here. I think it continues. We shall see. Apple popped as well and continued, but I don't think this has a lot more upside. We're getting to the top of the trend line. Probably like 285 to 90 at max is the target. Western Digital somehow made another leg up. What were the earnings? 282 versus 273 and 178. Good earnings. Uh, Rocket companies did good earnings, popped a bit, but nothing spectacular. Hopefully, we have continuation. Net popped and exceeded this target. Nothing really to say. Zeus popped. I didn't check this one. Nice breakout here and held where it's supposed to. I think this makes a pennant, even from these two candles, something like this, before the next leg up. Team, pretty nice move. Back above the ribbon. Should continue. I think very interesting. This went down before earnings, and on earnings, it tried to go lower and recovered. I think this is playing out as expected, more or less, in the idea that we are almost at the bottom, if not at the bottom, and we'll have a breakout in this name soon. Especially as economic data becomes negative due to the shutdown effect, I think this will happen more likely. So we have Colgate and PG, I think, right? Yeah, PG. So I think both of these names will break out soon. And Dominion went down. What did it do? On 453 versus 426 and good EPS beat. Why did this thing go down? Mixed shelf offering. Size not disclosed. Probably that. Looks okay. Wait to see the offering. I still think it does this and goes to like 84 over the long run. This is a very nice setup in my opinion. But let's see what this thing is with the offering. Okay, so this was the recap. Let's go to this week's selection. Disclaimer, I didn't really see a lot of names that I liked here. I put many of them because of the name and just to acknowledge them, but very few setups that I liked. So first of all, I think they already had earnings, but they won't appear here quite yet. Today pre-market is still stuck in this range between the low AV up here and the AV up from this low here, which is also the one from the high. So that's even higher. So if this actually has a good earnings move, but I didn't mean like 3%. This has to be like a 10% pop or something. So once we get above this AV up here, it opens up a lot of room above, like to go to 67, maybe even higher. But for now, it's still stuck in the range. It tried to go up. It's pushing the Bollinger. I mean, it tried to push the Bollinger Bands and got rejected, which is not really a good sign. But it's not necessarily a bad sign either. Meaning, like it can do this and still, as long as it holds above the view up line from this low from April, this is still a build up towards an attempt to go higher and go to this 66, 67 area. Potentially even more, obviously, if things are okay. But this is like the target one. Target two would be 76, and if this doesn't hold, we go for if this holds, we go for high retest. Like it would be something like this over the long run, not what I drew here. This doesn't mean over the long run. So we'll see how this plays out. The key, if it's a negative reaction, is to hold above the trend line, the AVU up, and the key for more upside is to go above this AVU up here. Palantir looking quite good. It has earnings today after the market. I think it has the potential to go to 200. What 200? What 220, 225. Like this trend line. I don't think this trend line would be exceeded. So a positive move would be something like this. A negative move right here, like 180, 175. Uber, nothing really to say about it, just acknowledging it. I was just looking at the long-term trend line here, and we seem to be holding above it. Depends how you want to draw it as well. If you draw it like this, still haven't. Maybe this is the way to draw it actually. Yeah, I think this is the way. And actually we have 100 as a major level. So the key for opening significant new highs for Uber is just getting above 100. I don't think it ever closed above 100. It tried to, but yeah, never closed. Oh no, we have a slight close here. The close was 10, no, 100.10 was the close. Aside from this, it always got rejected the next day. So if we see a close above 100 for Uber, it has the potential to go significantly higher. But for now, the 100 level seems like a big wall, and until we see a close above it, or even a close and a backtest of it, like if it does this, and signs of 100 becoming support, like a small consolidation move above and a small consolidation here would be a very bullish sign here for Uber to do a move higher, maybe 120 or something like that. So PFE has flow, has some in the money puts sold, earnings Tuesday after, before the market, and the expected those were 26 puts if I remember correctly that were sold, meaning someone was confident that Uber would go above 26, currently at 24.65. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I don't like that every sign of strength it showed got quickly faded. So this is not a good look, but holding the trade line is a good look. Bouncing here is a good look. We'll see how earnings go. And again, lots of potential to go significantly higher to 30-ish or something if earnings are okay and the market accepts and allows it to go higher. I put race on this list because I don't like the way the chart looks. Like you see this sideways range, and we are up below this level and looking more like a rejection of this level and another attempt to go above. If we do not hold this level, I think this goes significantly lower. Target will be this 300 area. Basically, we double the size of the top range. Come on, click the correct thing. Yeah, something like this. So target will be 300 if we get rejected from earnings tomorrow and don't recover above this and go back inside this level. Even if it does, I think the chances are it's a just like a ribbon retest and it's eventually going to get rejected. I think this sees 300 before it sees new highs again. NCLH, this is on the list because of the support setup. So we have this horizontal level, which is pretty significant. And we are coming into it. Plus is a combo of the AVU up from the previous high and the AVU up from the low. Let's do it like this. So this 2150 area should act as support. If it doesn't, it's not a very good sign, as you can imagine. Like going below this horizontal level hasn't been a good omen for the stock. in the past. Basically, this is the bull bear pivot that we have right now. We are above, it's bullish. We are below, it's bearish. So if we go from earnings below this level and don't recover by end of day, I think we see new lows and another push to the lower end of the range. If we get a bounce, it should be exactly here. So, for example, tomorrow, if we do like a small dip to this area, uh, we have a chance to see if it bounces. And if it bounces, it's a pretty nice setup, like a falling wedge kind of setup. Yeah, this kind of thing. And breakout would allow like a 26, 27, something like this. Sorry. Okay, AMD, nothing really to say about it, just acknowledging it and seeing this trend line getting hit. Maybe it's not exactly like this, maybe it's like this and it still has some room to go up, but that room is not a lot, like 275-ish, something like that. On the other hand, we have SMCY, which has seen continuous bullish flow. We have Bollinger Bands getting squeezed a lot and getting squeezier and squeezier. This has potential for an explosive move, and with the flow bias being very, very bullish over the past couple of weeks, uh, it's likely that the move is going to be bullish as well. This one, I posted some flow on it today, like a profit take, which is not exactly ideal ahead of earnings. So just on that basis, shouldn't do well for earnings, but I don't know. Beyond Meat is here for the potential for the second leg of the squeeze. One support, and earnings can give it a reason. So this only needs a reason, and the apes will jump on it. First reason, a good reason would be earnings. It doesn't mean it like this is lotto level shit. Don't play this as a serious play. You put a couple of $100 in it if you want to, if you have that money, and you can lose it without any consequences. But even dropping a bit more is a major hit. Like this is 30%. It's not a small percentage loss. So the difference between it bouncing here and it bouncing here is night and day. Don't play this as a serious play. Upstart, I like the setup from a technical perspective, like bullish divergence here and falling wedge. And we are into horizontal support as well. I would expect this to bounce, and if it doesn't bounce, I think it has a significant downside ahead. Like getting to the 30 area would seems likely. But this is again, this is not a play for earnings. This is a play to see what happens on earnings, and maybe we get a breakout, or maybe we it tries to go down and show signs of buyers. Like for example, it goes to 40 and it closes on a nice hammer candle. That gives us a hint that it's bias bullish, and we can then play a breakout uh, expectation play, like we buy some calls expecting that it went down, it showed a hammer green candle, and now it's likely that it will attempt to break out, and we play that part, not the earnings themselves. We wait for earnings to calm down. Okay, Pinterest, this had flow on Friday as well, had flow a couple of weeks ago, like 40C, 49C, which is quite far out of the money. So waiting to see what happens on earnings on Tuesday after the market. I have a small position on this. We'll see what happens. Enevo is on the list because of some bullishly biased flow for the last couple of days, weeks, last week mostly. It's consistently coming in, and it's far out of the money and long term. It's stuff like, let's look, MVO, Oops. MVO, like this one. So 80% of 63% of the money, ATC, for January 2028. So quite long term. This is an ad, seems. I don't think this is this they gave up on it. They just adding more at this point. First entry was for 1 million, now adding 1.6 million. And this is not the only one. There were others as well. Like for example here, I'm pretty sure these are stealth longs for the long term. So this gives it a bit of a bullish bias. Even if it does a low retest, I think this is a buy. Watch HIMS. HIMS has earnings when? Today, but don't remember if it's pre-market or post-market. So watch HIMS. NVO dumped previously because it appeared that HIMS was taking their lunch money. So if HIMS reports faster now, depending on what they say, it might give us a hint on what NFO does for earnings. If HIMS earnings are bad and they say that they couldn't capture market share or something like that, I think NFO will pop. So this setup is pretty okay. We'll see how it goes. Then we have Humana. This is the healthcare insurance kind of thing basket. I don't know why I left it here. Don't care about it. McDonald's looks kind of weak, like the long-term chart. We're still in the upper part of this channel, but it's looking kind of weak or weaker and weaker. You see like the ribbon, we got smaller and smaller humps, and now we are below the ribbon on the weekly basis, went below the 55 EMA on the weekly, on a closing basis. Not a lot of confidence from what I see here in the charts. I think this is looking to break down and it's looking for an excuse to do it. And when it does, this is going to be bear market territory, meaning like go to the low of the range over time, maybe 6 months, a year, something like that. So I don't like the way McDonald's looks. Unity. So Unity is here for a strange reason. You think Unity is a gaming company that does the Unity engine and people use it for making games, which is true. But Unity is also an advertisement company because they have Unity ads and they bought Iron something last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember exactly. And I'm gonna show you something strange or interesting. Unity versus AppLovin. Perfectly correlated since here. Before that, they weren't correlated at all. But ever since this point here in August 2024, or let's say June 2024, they're more or less very well correlated. And it makes sense because Unity has been relying more and more on their ad revenue because they don't make that much money from games, and AppLovin has been nailing it. So what I think is happening is Unity has been moved from the games basket into the ad basket, and now Unity is behaving like an ad company. So it's a pair trade basically. You watch what happens with Unity. If Unity says bad things about ads, most likely APP is going to do poorly. If Unity says good things about ads and Unity pops, most likely APP is gonna do well as well, and maybe is going to pop for earnings. So this is a watch what happens with Unity, not a play on Unity. And if they do well poorly because of ads, we have a play for APP afterwards. Because I think this Unity being in the ads basket is a stealth thing. Not many people have figured it out yet. So we can use what happens with Unity on Wednesday to pre-market to see what we do with APP for Wednesday post-market. Okay, Qualcomm next. Qualcomm popped for because they announced they do AI chips, and this is very good. Lots of room to go up. Just a ribbon reconnect here. I think it will perform well and go higher. ARM, just an acknowledgement. It's at all-time high breakout attempt. Not looking great, not looking terrible. Again, we see, but if it breaks out for some reason, lots of potential to go higher, like to 60 to something like that. Snap is on the list because it has this nice falling wedge kind of thing. We'll see how it plays out. I like the TA setup. That's it. Figma. Uh, it's time for the post IPO pop. Like it's trying to make new lows, but kind of failing to do so. On the 4 hour, we have a not. No, we don't. We don't have a bullish divergence. But Again, I don't think this will go significantly lower. It's not a play earnings type of situation. It's more like a wait to see what happens with earnings. Maybe it pops. If it pops, it has a lot of potential. Let's do the IPO AVU up. So baseline is 43. So well, no, 73. While this is below this AVU up, this is bearish. While it's above, it's going to be bullish. And it's one of those APO plays, same as Alab was at some point. Remember this? This is what Figma looks like to me right now. Actually, we can actually compare it. Let's do this for spectacle. And we go back to Figma. And I'm gonna keep it the same for time. So time-wise, this is identical. I can pull on it just to make it look better. Something like this. So we're not quite here yet. This would be December. Uh, but you get the point. The point is that once these names that have IPO'd and went down they turn so spectacularly. And there's a lot of potential in seeing a move with them. Maybe even like this. Yeah. So this kind of makes sense. Even a short-term play would do this, but it needs more time to get to the Alab level of build-up. And then when this happens, it goes fucking crazy. This will be around December, mid-December. So yeah, keep an eye on it. If it moves, it's good. If it doesn't move, we keep an eye on it for later. Then we have ConocoPhillips, uh, and this is at the lows of the range. It's a trend line retest, looking pretty okay. There was some flow on it, I think. Yeah, 95C for June, 2.6 million. And this was 7 days ago, so last Monday, Friday, something like this. So yeah, again, keep an eye on it. It has potential to go if it if it proves to be bullish from earnings. This is not a play before earnings type of situation. Datadog. Uh, this was interesting to me because of the breakout from this long-term trend line, and it's still to get the other trend line. It has a lot of potential for much higher. So to get to this level, it would be like 210, 200 to 210. So it looks pretty okay for a move after earnings. Uh, Friday looks like a breakout from here. Yeah, looking okay. It looks like a sideways correction, and now it's trying to go back up. Potential is for 200 to 10 here to get to the trend line. And of course, I don't mean this from a simple earnings move, but maybe it has okay earnings. It moves like 5% up, and then it just continues going higher over the next couple of weeks. Moderna, I posted flow for it today, and this was like an acquisition rumor, this pop here. It looks pretty okay. The fact that it is trying to break below this level once, twice, three, four. So fourth time it tries to break down and it hasn't. Eventually it will attempt to break out, and once it breaks out, it's just momentum, like it's just gonna squeeze like a random name that just squeezes. And target is this 40 level. TTD is still under bleed program. I put it here just to acknowledge it. Has some potential, let's say, like inverse head and shoulders, but just as easily could make new lows. We'll see depending on earnings. This is also ads name, so we'll see what happens with APP and Unity. Open, aside from the memeability of it, looks pretty okay. I certainly didn't expect this new leg up to 10. And I thought it would correct much bigger. Like we haven't corrected on open, we haven't corrected 80%, like we did with GME when we had the squeeze. This one surprisingly has stayed pretty high. And now it's going to have the opportunity to either do the 80% correction and go like back here, or break out. And again, because it's memeable, the squeeze that can happen can be quite powerful. So target would be 13, but if this goes in another squeeze, most likely it's going to get to 25. The fact that it hasn't done an 80% correction after the second squeeze leads me to believe that this is a fundamental move, not just a squeeze. So if it's a fundamental move, it should be reflected into earnings. If it is, this may go to 25. If it is not, we get the 80% correction. MP. So I think all the names from the rare earth mineral thing will correct a lot. Not short term, obviously, but I think this goes back to 30 at some within the next 6 months or so. DraftKings, I posted some flow for it today. Significant bullish divergence into a range low, but quite negative because we are below the AV WAPs. We are below the trend line. So looking quite ugly here, but wait and see if from earnings it looks like it's recovering. We can go long it and maybe it goes to 45 or something like this. If it doesn't hold here, lots of room to go for going down, like back to 12. Holy shit, lots of room to go. Like here, I don't think this will happen. I think it will bounce. And I think this is it. I didn't have anything for Friday marked down. Yeah, much less exciting week because mega caps are behind us. And like I said, not a lot of very clear plays, lots of speculation. My recommendation, as always, is to just wait out the plays. Don't unless you got a position a while back for some other fundamentals reasons. I don't really recommend paying earnings. So just wait and see what happens for earnings. And if it looks like a good follow in either direction, follow it. If not, just stay away and enjoy the show. Have a good one. Bye bye.